Hey guys, Sean Z, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. I believe this is live number 40 on the year. Providing value is very important to me, and bringing on guests that we can discuss different topics that you, the one that are watching, can benefit from. You can actually take some action by using some of the tips, tricks, and strategies that we go over in our conversation. We just ask that you share this live, hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay on the replay. And drop a comment. Where are you watching us from? We're here to help you grow. We want to help you take your business to the next level. So some of the things that we talk about during our live, we hope that you utilize and share and tell us if it's been working for you or not. I've had this awesome guy, this awesome mortgage originator on before. We are doing some more consistent lives, and his name is Matthew Victoria. Let me bring him on.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Living the dream, as always.
Living the dream down the shore, right?
Yes. That would be correct.
You know, we were talking before we went live, and the importance of having referral partners is huge for those in the real estate world. Realtors, mortgage professionals, attorneys, insurance, home inspectors, anyone that's involved in contractors from any walk of life, special trades. It's important to have a circle, but also have a circle that is performing and doing things for that circle, making sure that circle closes business. I can care less if I'm quoting a shitload of business. If I'm not closing it, we're not making money. So we want to make sure things are getting to the closing table without any hiccups. But it's important to have deep relationships with your referral partners. What do you think?
I agree 100%. It's often an overlooked thing, and I have an interesting, I guess, mindset, and I try to look at the dollars that you can get out of anything. And what I mean is, like, when you meet somebody, it's like, how do I get a piece of business from them? And that's the question I always ask myself. And more importantly, how do I connect that with something? Right. Mm-hmm. So, like, I have 3 loan officers now, and I work with them all the time. And the best way to do some of these things is to ask questions, right? Like,
yes,
that's the easiest thing to do, is to ask an open-ended question. And it's funny how much we overlook these things with people. But more importantly is, like, how do you connect something? And that's the thing that a lot of people don't think about. Like, if you meet somebody, it's like, okay, well, how do I connect this into my sphere? Or how do I connect this into the people that I know? Or how do I connect this into a connection that will turn into a referral source, possibly?
Right. Yeah, because every person you talk to you're not looking for, like, you're not going to call me for mortgages. Like, I've done my mortgage through you, and it's something that people think, when you talk to somebody, you have to use them for the business. And I tell people all the time, do you want just one deal? And we've had this conversation before too. And I love the apple and the orchard and all that, because a lot of people just look for the apple. Yeah. They're not looking for the orchard. You can get a tree, you're going to live for a little bit longer, but an orchard, you're going to live for a long time. It's a lot of people will focus on financial advisors, accountants, because they have gold in their clientele. And when they tell their client, oh, you're looking to refinance? Call Matt. Or, hey, you need insurance. Have you looked at reviewing your insurance? Call Sean. When they say that to do that, their client calls us, and it's not a problem, because it's a great referral. It's a great recommendation. But a lot of people are looking for those apples, and that's all they're doing all day long is, I just want one deal. But why don't you help others first in your circle and watch how it blossoms?
Well, it's kind of funny how everything kind of overlaps and intersects with each other. It's like the old saying, the more you help others get what they want, the more that you'll wind up getting what you want.
Yep, Zig Ziglar.
It's Zig Ziglar. And then the other thing is like, teach me how to catch a fish, feed me for a meal. Teach me how to fish, feed me for life.
Yep.
So it's kind of funny how all of these things overlap with each other. And in our businesses, like a great piece is like this, right? So you get a CPA, right? So what is the CPA going to do for an insurance guy? Well, maybe he can refer you a person here or there, right? But What if the CPA now says to all of his clients when they go to do their tax returns every year and says to them, hey, why don't you bring me your deck page and I'll get your deck page, I'll get your insurance requoted to see if anything has changed, right? Now, an insurance person like yourself goes to every CPA and says, hey, here's what we're going to do. Every time I get a business owner, I'm going to say to them, hey, who does your taxes, right? Are they doing a great job? Because maybe they're leaving money on the table and not doing enough in what it is that they do. And then you turn around and say to the tax person, hey, every person that comes in, why don't you get them to bring a deck page for you with their 1040s for their yearly tax returns and send it over to me to quote it out? I mean, how many more new quotes would that generate for somebody like yourself?
Right. And it also works for mortgage people, and it works for anyone that wants to have that kind of mindset. You work hard for those very phenomenal recommendation sources, and that's where you could have your spigot could be on constantly. And you could be like, listen, I'm like overloaded right now with deals. We have to slow it down a little bit. And you can have that conversation with who the hell wants to slow it down. But now you have to figure out how to make that adjustment. But that's where people are falling short. I'm going to buy leads. And then all they're doing is calling leads all day long, and they're complaining. Well, why don't you start developing your own content, your own brand, do some social media, do some video like we're doing right now. People, this is free. This is taking our time. We're putting ourselves out there, but we're being consistent. We're not sitting here, use me for insurance, use me for mortgages. We're giving value. We're talking about the importance of recommendation sources and how if you open your eyes and listen and be open to a different strategy, watch what it will do to your business.
Well, let's take it a couple of steps further, right? So let's take, obviously a good source of business for us is realtors, right? So let's take a realtor, for example, and a realtor says, well, I don't have any business. Okay. So how many of your past clients have you closed that are business owners, right? What if you go and touch back out to your business owner clients and say, hey, tell me a little bit more about your business. Who's good for you that I can introduce you to that can help you get more business, right? So that's a touch. And it's very easy to keep in touch with a database. All you have to do is just reach out to them and say, hey, just wanted to check in, see how everything's going. How's business? Do you guys have any new services that you're doing? Like, what if you have a client that's an electrician,
right?
Who doesn't need an electrician at some point? Not only that, but electricians love to meet other people that can help them with their business, general contractors, architects, things like that.
Investors, right? Yep.
So what if you as a realtor call up your people and say, hey, tell me about your business, or follow me up on your business and how can I help you? There's a touch right there. And I'm just using one thing. Like, that's the way my mind works, is like, well, what else could it be? Like realtors love, they want attorneys, right? They want estate attorneys, they want probate attorneys, they want divorce attorneys. So what if you go and start asking for people, and like you call your electrician, hey, by the way, do you know any great divorce or estate attorneys?
Right.
Like,
and you're taking all your contacts, you're not calling them to sell or buy a house, and you're asking them for recommendations for other professionals to get into your network. Right. That's where they should be spending their time. Instead of looking for one deal, you could be getting an unbelievable amount of deals just by making your circle even growing larger and larger each conversation you make.
That's organic growth, and I go back to the 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. I preach about that book because it was so great of a book. Like, I have all of my loan officers read it. And anytime I meet new realtors, I have them read it. The secret, the 7 Levels of Communication, because it goes back to having conversations. Like, that guy was a realtor, and it's kind of funny, right? He wrote the book as a realtor, and he wanted to generate or make a 100% referrals-based organic business that he wasn't paying for. Like, the top guy in his office spent tons of money on billboards and leads and stuff like that. And he wanted to do it organically, and he did. And that's how you do it. Like, it's really interesting when you read the book, but asking people, or for connectors, or asking them how you can help them grow their business does wonders, because it goes back to, how can I help you?
Right. There's 2 other things I would love to share. Is a lot of people, what is something everybody needs? they need auto insurance. So you're talking to somebody, and I don't like doing auto insurance because everyone shops. It goes up $10, they go somewhere else. But it's a lead-in for everything else. Most of the time, the state farms of the past, that's how they led with auto insurance, to put the lights on their offices, to, pay for the staff. But they didn't care really about auto insurance. They got to financial services. So once you build your pipeline up, now you have other things you can sell to them. So auto insurance, when's the last time you had a review for that? And that's where you connect with an insurance person, send them a recommendation, and then they circle back because they're going to talk to them more than anything else. Another thing is develop your own networking group. It could be something, a BNI, a LATIP. You can just do something like I have online that we were meeting every month. But it's something that you control, that you have your own community, your own ecosystem that you could feed off of, and everyone in the group can feed off of.
There's so many things out there that people can do, and that don't necessarily cost money, or things that they can just do by just having conversations or phone calls with people. And the funny thing is, like, when you're quoting auto insurance, right? What's one of the first 4 questions that you ask somebody to be able to give them a proper quote on your auto insurance?
You need to know where they live, right? So you get an address. Are you a homeowner or are you a renter?
Right. Where's this car parked? Is this car parked in a parking lot, or is it parked in your house? Like, do you own or do you rent? That's one of the first 4 questions. Am I right? Four questions?
Yep.
One of the first 4 questions an insurance agent is going to ask. So if you're a realtor, what if you go and hook up with an insurance agent but the thing is that you have to educate people, right? Like, they don't know how to do some of this stuff. So like a realtor, if a realtor is going to refer me, what I do is I educate them on how to do it. And I ask the realtor this, right? It's a great question. Say, hey, listen, I have a referral for you. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to have them call you, or do you want me to give you their info so this way you can call them? Okay. Naturally, they're going to say, well, I want to call them. So it works the same for me. So if you don't train your people on how to give you a good referral or how to facilitate the referral, like, here's another one. I told somebody, I said, do a group text between the 3 of us.
Yep.
This way, now you're doing a handoff saying, hey, this is my guy. This is what it is. And by the way, that whole thing with needing to give 3 people, that doesn't exist. That's not an actual law. Right?
Oh, it's not? It seems like all of them.
No, and I say this to my realtors. If they want to give out a list of 3, I say, all right, no problem. Well, I'll do the same thing. So when somebody calls me and they want to buy a house, I said, which one do you want to be? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Well, why? Well, why is it any different?
Right.
If you have a good person,
yes,
you don't need 3 people.
Yep.
If you have a person that will answer the phone, that will be fair with their pricing, right? They won't gouge people, and they'll also do a good job with the transaction itself. Then you don't need to have 3 people. So it works both ways. It's
better to have control of your transaction. It's that's a ball you want to keep in the air through closing, and there's many steps to the process, making sure that paycheck is going to end up in everyone's pocket at the end of the deal, the transaction, the experience. It's important to keep that rolling and having the communication, talking to people, knowing what's going on throughout. And you can call people. Some people have text messages they sent out for updates, emails, but you have to have that conversation with the client of how do you want to communicate with me? Do you want to call all the time? Do you want to have a text, email? You won't know. Oh, I don't know what my client wants. Well, ask them.
It's a very important question. And, it goes back to your referral sources, right? So we just gave you a couple of tips on how to go out and build a referral-based business. And if you don't have any business, how to go out and generate some new stuff off of the people that either you've dealt with before. It doesn't even have to be people that you've closed. It could go back through the list and say, hey, did you ever wind up finding a house? Like, if you're a realtor. Or, hey, did you ever wind up refinancing your house? Like, I just gave a list to one of my guys. It's got like 1,000 names on it. I don't know if they ever bought a house or not, but you know what? Who cares? There's tons of stuff out there to do. You just have to start, like, it's reticular activation. So reticular activation, it's like, when you want to buy a certain car, all of a sudden you start seeing them all over the place.
Yeah.
Or like when a woman gets pregnant, she starts seeing like all these pregnant women. You know, and it's like, what, did you think that they just miraculously got pregnant, or that miraculously this car appeared? No, it's your brain being in tune with it. So you have to work on your brain and fine tune. It's like, we could go in so many different directions, like with affirmations and stuff like that. But it goes back to putting it out there, what you want, and training your mind to start looking for those things.
It's well said. And those that are just jumping on now, you might want to wait until this is over. Play it from the beginning. There's lots of great nuggets of information. Please reach out to Matt anytime. His number is 908-296-8904. Friend request to message him. Huh?
I said, I'm not hard to find.
Not hard to find. He's now we're doing more consistent lives too. So we're going to definitely see us more, dropping some nuggets of information. If you're interested in getting on a conversation with us live, give us a call. We'd love to connect with others, and we'll even use recommendation sources. If you're a financial advisor, an accountant, I have compliance issues with video. We're not going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship, things that will help other entrepreneurs that are out there that are watching us better themselves. That's how we will strategically talk. We won't talk about your business. We won't talk about, so I know the compliance issues that are out there. We don't have to worry about it. We're not going to talk about it, and just provide value. So that's our time for today. Matt, I appreciate you, brother. We appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to share this live. Hashtag, if you're watching live, hashtag replay. And where are you watching from? Don't be afraid to drop a comment. And we also hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your day.
Go out and get it.